Donald Trump's campaign and advisor described the reason the former president was more willing to follow the strategic advice of his staff. He's running for his freedom. That's very clear. As time went on, Trump's criminal cases were never far from his mind. You got to remember this. They have often dominated his schedule, in infuriating him at times, costing more than $100 million in legal bills for his staff, helping him to raise inordinate money in small dollar checks and serving as a creditor for his. Now, either his life is likely to be defined by legal turmoil or relief, depending on the result of Tuesday's election, which is tomorrow. So, Donald Trump also said that he would fire the special counsel who brought 2 federal cases against him and make sweeping changes at the FBI and Department of Justice if he returns to office. Prosecutors in Georgia would struggle to go forward with trying him for attempting to overturn the state's 2020 election result, because the federal guidelines also says that a president should not stand a trial while in the office. That's a big plus point for him. He faces sentencing in New York just before Thanksgiving in the hush money case, where he was convicted on 34 counts of falsifying business records, but a second term of Donald Trump's presidency could make it harder to impose the sentence. That's where he's trying to really escape, and he's trying to really gain the freedom by winning this election. Let's say if he loses, Trump could face a federal trial in Washington next year or year after on charges he conspired to overturn 2020 election, although the Supreme Court could further narrow the indictment beforehand. And also, some experts say that they also expect that an appeal court to reverse a decision by U.S. District Judge Aileen M. Cannon to dismiss a classified document and obstruction case against Donald Trump. The Georgia case, which has been hampered by allegation of ethical misstep from prosecutors, could go forward in 2025. And unresolved cases reflect Donald Trump's team's successful strategy to delay many of his legal proceedings and a landmark Supreme Court ruling that Trump is immune from prosecution for official acts as president, which is again a big plus point, which also delays the undercut and some of his election case, which involves Trump's action January 6, 2021, and the outcome threatens to embolden Donald Trump and any other further office holder to act with impunity. So Richard said that what he's concerned about is the message not only to him but to every further holder of the Oval Office, that they can do whatever they want. This is what Richard Painter said, who co-wrote a law review article examining the fate of Donald Trump's prosecution if he wins the election, that this executive power is very dangerous state of affair long term unless we have some corrective other than criminal law. Trump's campaign spokesman Stephen Chung claims without evidence that the President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris cases should all be dismissed in light of Supreme Court's historic decision on immunity and other vital jurisprudence. Trump is also dominating this election so far. As you know, that he's dominating and he's above Kamala Harris for now. So, Trump originally faced 91 felony charges in 4 cases. His advisors were facing long days in front of the grand jury, and they were cracking jokes who was wearing a wire and thought his entire 2024 election schedule could be hampered by trials only. Now, Trump was spending at times 4 or more hours a day with lawyers. No one has ever had so many lawyers working with them. Trump also said at one point in 2023 during Mar-a-Lago meeting, according to an attendee who, like others, spoke on the condition of anonymity to describe a private conversation. Several of Trump's top advisors said managing the legal challenges was the hardest part of his political operation. Now, Donald Trump was often in a foul mood on days when he faced hearing or court appearance, or even when he was scheduled to spend much of the day talking about with the lawyers. One advisor described that most surreal moment of the campaign as rolling into dingy Atlanta jail for a mugshot. It was just a totally wild experience. While Trump acknowledged to advisors that the case were helping him politically. That's crazy, honestly. Regardless of election outcome, in this 2024, Trump is scheduled to be sentenced in the hush money case on November 26 in Manhattan, based on Richard Painter's review of conviction for the same offense. Now, also he said that Donald Trump doesn't expect the judge to send him to jail. He could pay a fine and meet a probation officer while serving a precedent term, though defying such an order could set off a messy confrontation with the New York courts. In both state cases, Donald Trump could try to use presidential immunity as a defense and appeal to the Supreme Court. Now, it's a question how much further Supreme Court is willing to go to protect Donald Trump if he is elected as a president of the United States. We'll wait and watch what will happen tomorrow, and we'll decide, and the court will decide, of course. And also, let's see what will be his reaction if he loses the election and how the hell he's going to manage all these cases. And if he wins the election, then he will take this as a freedom and as a power really to control and manipulate all his cases as much as possible, and he will try to do something that he will not get in trouble after he finishes his term. Thank you so much for watching. If you like the video, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more videos and more updated news. Thank you. Probably see you next time.